Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from Srimad Bhagavad Gita, original, chapter number 3, text number 15. Here, Krishna says, Karma Brahmodbhavam Vidhi, Brahmakshara Samudbhavam, Tasmad Sarvagadam Brahma, Nityam Yajna Pradishtidam. Karma Brahmodbhavam Vidhi. Karma means, as we mentioned, prescribed duties given in the Vedic literature. Any other actions done using our intelligence, mind, or ego is not considered to be prescribed duties. Prescribed duties are explained in the Vedas. Karma Brahmodbhavam Vidhi. Here, Brahmo means Vedas. Udbhavam means emanated. The karma has emanated from Brahmo, from the Vedas. Vedas means prescribed duties. Prescribed duties means regulated activities. What is regulated activities? Anything external and too much. It can be eating, it can be sleeping, it can be mating, it can be defending. It can be any activities. If you overly indulge, that is called vikarmic activities. So therefore, Vedas means knowledge of prescribed duties, regulated duties. You have to have regulation and limitation. Just like the government has given you so much freedom, but there are also regulations. You cannot actually do anything too much. That person who does all these things become punishable by their laws. So freedom is there, but regulated freedom, right? Like you have freedom. You drink so much in the bar and create quarrel. That is not accepted. You may drink as long as you remain conscious. If you create problems in any field, after taking that liberty to do those, then we become punishable by the laws. You are all wise, so you can actually think, is it true or false? Another example, you are allowed to earn money unlimitedly. Government doesn't actually stop you as long as you pay the taxes. They need their share. So, you are free to move as long as you do that. Otherwise, you will be implicated again in the illegality in keeping unauthorized money. What is unauthorized money? That money which is not disclosed to the government. That's all. It's very simple. Everyone wants their share. Anywhere you go, even if you are a child, if you ask him to do something, bring me a soda from the refrigerator or juice, he will ask something. Give me 2 chocolates, then I will do it. So everywhere he is giving and taking. So prescribed duty means regulated activities, which is born from the Vedas. So Vedas do not allow you to do anything illegal. Everything prescribed ones, regulated ones. So don't blame the Vedic literature. Ultimately, Vedanta means end of knowledge. All the nonsenses are also there in the Vedas. Because Veda means ultimate knowledge. You cannot do anything that is not in the Vedas. Stealing, robbing, kidnapping, raping, all these things also find in the Vedas. But though the Vedas explain all these things, in the sense that you are not allowed to do it. So everything is a regulation. So karma brahmodbhavam vidhi. Vidhi means you should know that karma emanates from the Vedas. Not vikarma, but karma. Brahmaksharam. Here again, brahmodbhavam, then brahmaksharam. What is brahmaksharam? Aksharam, parabrahman. Aksharam is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This Brahma is the Supreme Brahman. Brahmaksharam samudbhavam. So these Vedas are actually emanating from the Supreme Brahman. Just like you exhale and inhale, right? When you exhale, there are so many living entities. Favorable living entities come out from your breathing. When you are sick, unfavorable living entities come out, which are called virus. These guys can infect others and give the same disease to the other person. But there are favorable guys. When you are in good health, you don't spread out the sickness because you are healthy. When you sneeze, it may be due to some excessive hot or cold. People immediately start putting masks before you. They think that there is danger. The disease spread because of the unhealthy situation. So when we breathe, we bring out living entities, whether it is positive or negative. It's a violent one or pacified one. In either case, the living entities come out. Like that, the Vedas are coming from the breathing of the Supreme Person. You may not believe that. But Lord Brahma says in Brahma Samhita, Yasaiga nishashita kala madhavalambya jivandi loma vilaja jagat andanada. Yasaiga nishashidam. Simply by his breathing, he brings forth innumerable universes, and the head of the universes, Brahmanda. Brahma, Andanada. Anda means the universes are egg-shaped. Jagat Andanada. And in that egg shape, the head of the universe is Lord Brahma, is brought into the creation for the supplementary creation purpose. Brahma is required. Brahma is not the foundational cause. The foundational cause is Mahavishnu. Yasaiga nishashida kalam adhavalambya jivandi loma vilaja. From the bodily hair poles of the Supreme Lord Vishnu, loma vilaja, jagadandanada. Vishnur mahansa ihayasya kala vishesho. But this Vishnu is Mahavishnu. But he is the kala vishesho. He is only a plenary portion of the portion of whom Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami. This Mahavishnu is the Supreme Godhead who brings forth many billions and zillions of universes simply by breathing. And that great personality who is non-different from Krishna is a plenary portion of Krishna. Now you understood who Krishna is? Many people say that, why are you keep saying Krishna is God? But Vishnu is God. Krishna has come from Vishnu. No. Above the Trinities there is Krishna. And Krishna expands for maintaining the universe in the form of Vishnu. But Krishna is the original personality of Godhead. So, when he breathes, this is what happening. Vedas are coming out, universes are coming out. When he inhales, everything goes in. This is God. When we breathe, all these viruses and bacteria comes. There is no difference. Krishna is great. We are small. We are Anu. He is Vibhu. According to his size, he is breathing in a long breathing. His one exhale is 311 trillion 40 billion years. That is the minimum lifespan of Lord Brahma of this universe. So when he inhale, also the same duration of time, 311 trillion 40 billion years, all the universes goes in. When we speak about God, we need to know also the unlimited potency and inconceivable activities of Him. We cannot just take it as modern scientists' interpretations on God. Since everything is inconceivable to our knowledge, human brain, when we see all these gigantic creations, we naturally think, me like a person cannot do anything, only can create some pots and pans and some phones and computers and some aircrafts and some warships and war planes. But so far, we haven't created any planet. We only tried to send people to other planets. But we couldn't create a planet. So, because I cannot understand, I cannot do it, how a God being a person can do all these things? But now you can actually see here. Brahmodbhavam Vidhi, the Vedas are coming from him, and he personally is Brahmaksharam, is the Supreme Brahman. Ete chamsa kala pumsa Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. There are so many incarnations and incarnations of the incarnations and expansions, and so many are there. In Vaikuntha planet, there are millions and billions of Narayanas on each spiritual universe. And they have Shankha, Chakra, Gada, Padma in different hands. One may have Shankha in his right hand, the other may have in his left hand. One may have the chakra in the bottom hand, another may have the flowers in the right hand. Like that, there are so many Narayanas and there are so many Vishnus. Ete chamsa kala pumsa Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. But Krishna is the Swayam Bhagavan. Brahmakshara Samudbhavam, the Supreme Brahman, is bringing forth the Vedas and universes. Tasmad Sarva Gadam Brahma. Therefore, everything is Brahman. We are conscious Brahman, they are unconscious Brahman. But the Supreme Brahman is God. Vedas are also Brahman. I am also Brahman. My body is also Brahman. Your grocery is also Brahman. Your refrigerator also Brahman. They are all Brahman. So we are conscious Brahman, and all other objects in the world is unconscious Brahman. But everything is Brahman. Tasmad sarva gadam Brahma nityam yajna pradishtitam. And that Supreme Brahman, he is also situated in yajna. So that is the understanding. So we need to see the Supreme Brahman's presence in every object. Stavara jangama deke nadeke taramurti sarvatra hoya nija ishtadeva spurti. A learned saintly person do not see anything moving or unmoving. All that he sees his Ishtadeva Spurti, Lord Sri Krishna, within every atom, within every living being. Whether he is an elephant, or a dog, or a cat, or a tree, or a dog eater, the Supreme Lord is present in everyone. And here it is mentioned in that yajna, the Supreme Lord's presence is there. Nityam yajna pradishtitam. Every day you perform yajna and Krishna is present there. But we do not understand. Why? Because we were not properly trained to see God in every object. That is the problem. So therefore, the Vedas are all coming from God. Naturally, the Vedic directions are most perfect because it is a direct manifestation of God. In the Vedas, it is said, Asya mahado bodhasya nishvashidam yadad yad Rigveda, Yajurveda, Samaveda, Adarva Vedan Griyaha. Yasya Mahado Bodhasya. What is Nishashvidam? Nishashvidam means breathing. So, the Supreme Brahman breathes all the Vedic literatures. And he can do, because his senses are purely spiritual. So it's not limited to one activity. Just like eye. Eye we use for seeing things. But Krishna's eyes can see. His eyes also can eat, can also talk. Because when you put food in front of him, please my Lord eat, he glances over and he eats. You look at him and he looks at you and talk. Simply by seeing the beautiful eyes of the Supreme Lord, you are exchanging communication. So the Supreme Lord, being omnipotent, all of his senses do all other activities are also not conditioned or limited like our senses. When you perform the sacrifice or yajna, this yajna performance goes to the sun, as we mentioned yesterday. From the sun, rain appears, and through rain, all these food and living entities appear. And that is mentioned in Manu Samhita. Agno prastavudhi samyag adityam upatishtida aditya jayade vristir annam tada praja. Vristir annam. From aditya rain comes, from rain annam comes, also praja. Vristir annam tada praja. This is from Manu Samhita. So we need to know Brahmodbhavam. Everything is originated from God. So God has given everything in the Vedic literature. And we, human beings, read the Vedic literature and understand the system of life, how we should live in this world according to the scriptural notification. So, this is the conclusion. The Mayavadis say, Brahma Satyam Jagan Mithya. We say, if Brahma Satyam, Brahman is Satyam, how can Jagat be Mithya? The Jagat can be temporary, not Mithya. Just like you travel to some unknown place for your work. Though it is an unknown place, activities are there. Your eating is there, your sleeping is there, your work is there, everything is there. But you are not permanent there. You have gone for a work. But things are real. But you are not permanently staying there. You went for a work. Once you finish your work, you would go back to your native town. But that is not Mithya. Similarly, if Brahman is Satyam, Jagat cannot be Mithya. Jagat can be temporary because the material world is temporary. Like the prison house is part of the city. Not everyone who is freely moving in the city is going to go to the prison house. In the prison house, there are only few people in comparison with the free citizens moving in the city. Similarly, material world is only 1/4 of the total creation of the Supreme Lord. 3/4 is the spiritual world. So, because we were so conditioned by the material nature and our knowledge is completely covered, and our knowledge can extend only to take care of our family members, not even a neighbor's child. We don't have that capacity. We can't take care of them, the neighbor's children. We can only take care of my wife and my children and my, and I. So that much limited we are. We need to understand that. Then how do we understand the unlimited spiritual world and its inhabitants, who are 3/4 of it? So we are conditioned. Our intelligence, mind, everything is limited. Except that. If we accept that, our punishment will be reduced. Just like a criminal agree to his offenses, his punishment will be reduced. But if not, because the court has to assign some people, whether it is police or CBI, to get the truth of this person, there is an extra work. Therefore, the punishment increases. The sentence would go for a long time because he didn't accept the truth and he engaged the government officials to find the truth of him. Therefore, he must be inside the prison for 5 more years. So if we accept our mistake and cooperate with the Supreme Lord, our duration in this material world will be one day 0, because we accept it. As long we don't accept the authority of God, like the criminals do not accept the authority of the government, will continue to remain there. But if we accept, one day they will give a good remarks about this guy. Set him free. The Prime Minister, the President of the nation, has the special rights. Before he leaves his office, he can release several number of hardcore criminals. He has that veto power, ultimate power. Like that, God has complete power to release any hardcore sinful person from the material conditional life, provided we desire cooperating with God, then we are free from the material existence. Ultimately, everything is the Supreme Lord. That knowledge we must have. And He can do anything and everything at His liberty. Thank you very much. We will continue. Hare Krishna.